When are we going to wake up and realize that everything here in America, if not throughout the European world, has no beneficial property for so-called black people? Now, incidentally, I am driving, so you'll hear some noise in the background. Please bear with me, as well. I do have a tendency to struggle for words when I speak. Now, what am I talking about here? So we have this civil war that's going on here in the United States of America. Since Trump took over the White House once again, there has been a divide amongst Americans. Now, of course, when we hear people say there's a division amongst Americans, the first thing we think about is black people, that has to do with us and them. No. These folks do not give a shit about black people or brown people. They care about themselves. Now, the divide that they're talking about is amongst them, is amongst their community, is amongst their family member, because you may have some family member that's more liberal, some are conservative, but because of Trump and his rhetoric, right now, keep in mind, they're all on code as far as so-called white supremacy is concerned, because nothing's supreme about these devils that can't even go into the sun. That's why the sun is, anyway. So what it is now, you have, let's say, in a family, you may have a younger, more liberal, young people in that family where they're probably more inclusive, right? They go to college, they go to school, they're around black and brown people, so they're more tolerant. Whereas you have these so-called white supremacists, these racist, non-progressive group of people that's stuck in their ways, that do not want us to have, any kind of strive, any kind of benefit with this establishment that was created for them to have one up on us. So these people that's stuck in their ways, they decide to continue to support Trump, MAGA, if you will, the cult party, right? There's no more Republican, it's MAGA. So they continue to support MAGA, Trump, because Trump allows them to be themselves. Trump allows them to finally take off their mask, okay? The mask of hiding who they really are. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us black people don't know that we are fighting against another species, another mankind, if you will. I've been telling y'all this in many of my videos, that many of these people that we see are not humans. They look like us, but they're not us. Just like if you was to look at dogs. I've made this analogy in the past. You look at the canine, right, animal, the canine species, dogs. You have different kind of dogs. You have Doberman, you have Pit Bull, Rottweilers, Chihuahuas, pocket puppies, all different type of manner of species. I wouldn't say species of puppies, but different breed of puppies, of different breed of dogs. Now, you cannot look at a Doberman and say a German Shepherd is the same dog as a Doberman. You have to distinguish the two, even though they're from the canine family. It's the same thing with mankind. These people that's going around the world, in Palestine, these Europeans, these converts, these wannabe, the people of God chosen people, which they're God chosen people, they're not the Most High chosen people, because the Most High did not create these hybrids. Okay, so these hybrids, they come on this planet, they look like us, they amalgamate, they can actually even mate with us and have offspring, but they're not like us, right? They're a kind of man, a form of man. That's why I call them mankind. They're not necessarily human. They're a mankind, a form of man. Just like if you look at a Chinese and a black person, you could never go to a Chinese and say, oh, we are the same people as, let's say I'm a black man, right? So-called black man. I go to a Chinese restaurant and say, hey brother, calling them brother and shit. The first thing they look at me like, what? I don't look nothing like a Chinese. The Chinese don't look nothing like me. I don't look nothing like a so-called white man. A white man don't look nothing like me. So how could we be the same? Just because we're a mankind, a kind of man? So the civil war that's happening here in America, it don't have nothing to do with us. They could care less about the division already. The division was what, centuries ago, between black and so-called white people, and they're not white. You see that truck over there? That's a white truck. They're different shades of red, the red devil. That's what they are. So their kingdom now is falling, and I'm gonna say something, and a lot of y'all might, get upset with me what I'm about to say. now for the record, I am an independent, right? I could sway more to the Democratic side, but I'm more of an independent. I'm a progressive Democrat, if you will. Progressive, meaning that I'm not going to be stuck on the status quo. AIPAC controls the Democrat. I'm more of a progressive, gear towards some more independence. Now, you have the left and the right paradigm, left wing, right wing, but they're on the same bird. You think that the Democrat, so-called white people, don't feel some type of way towards black people? You think they want to give us anything for them to level the playing field as far as equal rights? You think because the Republican is more outspoken with it, and it's more obvious that they don't want us to be on top or even with them? But the Democrat, what they do is they use us. They use us for their cause, right? To get the votes. They don't care nothing about us, because think about it. All the voting that we have done over the decades, right? Have it changed your situation? Have it changed our situation? Did we get any crime bill that's against, people fucking with us? No. You know what I'm saying? So what's happening is this, family, that I personally believe, and I am going to support this, and again, y'all going to be probably pissed at me saying this shit, but I am glad that Trump is the president. I am glad. And you know why I'm glad? Let me explain. I'm glad he's the president because what he have done, first of all, he has exposed many of these so-called white people who pretend to be your friend, your co-worker. You know what I'm saying? He allowed them to take off their masks so you can see who the fuck they really are. That's number one. Number two, had Kamala Harris had won, she would have continued. Now, I had supported Kamala Harris presidency. As a matter of fact, I think she won the presidency. I showed out the video where Trump said out of his own mouth, I'm a paraphrase, where he said, Elon Musk went to Pennsylvania, he know a lot about voting machine, and they came out winning a landslide. That's what Trump said. So you know that election was stolen. This is why he don't give a fuck about America, because America didn't support him this time around. But let me keep on topic. So the reason why I support Trump being president is simply because of this. If Kamala Harris would have been the president, she would have continued the status quo. These devils would have continued to live a lavish lifestyle, comfortable lifestyle, and continue to put their feet on our necks, in some cases literally. They would have continued to have one up on us, because these devils are on code. White supremacy, these white privileges that they say they have, they're not using it to benefit us. So had not Trump been president, they would have still been, a facade. They would have still been benefiting off of white supremacy. But what Trump came and did, he came and pulled a rug from under these motherfuckers' feet. Now, they thought because they supported Trump, voted for Trump, that Trump was going to come in and he was going to deport the illegal aliens, or all these people that, all these migrants and shit that came here and built this country, to get rid of them, and it's just going to be an all-white country. And guess what happened? That shit ain't happened, because the moment y'all start doing that shit, y'all country start to fall. And I'm glad Trump is in office, because like I said, if it would have been any other president, or even a Democratic president, they would have continued to live the lavish lifestyle, right? Enjoy the fruit of our labor. Enjoy the fruit of many of these people that's being deported back to their country after they done used them to build this country. Almost like the slaves and shit. They use our ancestors to build up this country. They use the jail system, where many of us are incarcerated that are black, to build up this corporation called America, and then now they want to get rid of us. So I'm glad Trump came in. All these dumb fucking MAGA supporters, these hillbilly, no teeth, meth head, goofy, inbreed, incest, dumbasses that voted for him, they're the one that's suffering most, because they don't have education where they can go out there and get a good job. They rely on the system. They rely on public assistance, Medicaid, all that shit. And Trump came and took all that from you dumb motherfuckers, because he knows that y'all are goofy. Trump may look like y'all, but Trump never experienced poverty in his life. He cannot relate to poor people. He even said, when it's far to say, he learned a new word called groceries. Grocery, what do you mean you learn a new word? Because he have never had to do grocery, right? So y'all are rooting for this man. Oh, you want Trump to become more richer. It's almost like y'all literally giving him y'all money because y'all want to see how rich he can get. maybe get richer than Elon Musk. I don't understand you. That's why the Bible said that we, Israel, the black people, the true people of the Bible, not those Jewish Zionist demons over there, right? Now we can actually call them for who they are. It ain't no more anti-Semitic, because we know that these evil motherfuckers, right, worldwide are hated. They're hated because they're bloodlust, right? We Hebrew Israelite, we the true people of the book, the Bible, the book, right? We now are falling back to see the destruction of America by having Trump in office. I am so fucking glad. Yes, it's hard for me to make men's meat, right? Sometimes and shit. But at the end of the day, if I have to sacrifice my creature comfort for these demons to be toppled, for America, the whore of Babylon, to be toppled, I will sacrifice my creature comfort for the fall of the so-called white man, because you evil bastard think that y'all was going to reign forever. Every civilization have a term limit. The 250 years that they bragged about and celebrated the other day, that's the 200 years of y'all demise. Now the fall begins, and I give all praises to the Most High for Trump. I know I sound crazy, right? Because I hate that ugly fucking mutant pedophile so-called president, your president, not mine. But I'm glad the Most High, because see, the Most High had to harden Pharaoh's heart in order for him to work his miraculous miracle, according to the story, of course, right? Because a lot of these stories plagiarized from older texts and shit. But let's just rock with it. You know what I'm saying? So I am so glad Trump is president, because, like I said, had Kamala Harris been the president, they would have continued to perpetrate everything that they have been doing to black people and still benefit the fruit of our labor, right? They still would have been able to continue with their so-called white supremacy and still being able to benefit financially. But now the most I put Trump in place to take away all that shit from them. Cut program. I was watching the other day on TV where they had this woman said she gave up a 5-bedroom house to relocate to get a government job, and when they moved to the new state, the Trump cut the program where now the job that her husband was supposed to get to make way more money than what he was making before, the job is no longer. All praises be to the Most High for these fucking demons to feel what we have been feeling for over centuries. All praises. Thank God for Trump. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm glad Trump is the president, because now he has exposed these demons and he's literally tearing down America piece by piece, literally selling America to Israel and all these other countries, making way for China and Russia to attack America, because he's depleting the military ammunition, right? He's fighting a war that we shouldn't be in on behalf of Israel, those fake people, and the Mossad is going to tear their asses down to the Zionists, so-called Israelis. Their regime will be no more soon enough. The Mossad is making way for the true people of that land, the land of Canaan. And it's not just that little piece of shitty ass place over there in Palestine called Israel that they stole from the people that was there before them, right, called Palestine. I'm talking about the whole world belongs to black people. We're going to get the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And with that I say, shalom.